How you guys doing today? Mark Franks from plentyofgadgets.com. Guys, today I'm going to show you how to program the most common universal remote controls. So we all have those times where we've lost our remote control and we need a new remote control. So we go to the store and buy ourselves a universal remote control. Well, guys, I have three remote controls here. I have the RCA, and I'll put the model numbers in the descriptions below. I have the GE remote control, and I have the Phillips remote control. Now, do any of these remote controls look familiar? These are the most common universal remote controls that I can find here. So what I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to show you the process and procedure how to program these remote controls. Now, it's very easy, especially when you're just putting in a code. Usually it's like a 4-digit code that you put in, but sometimes you may misplace your code and you have to set it up manually. I'm going to show you guys how to do that as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Let's do it. All right, guys, so the first remote control that I'm gonna show you how to program is gonna be the RCA. But I want you to do two things before we get into it. I want you to go ahead and power your TV on manually, make sure your TV's on, and I want you to find your code lists and go ahead and find your TV in the list and circle the first few codes. You can either circle it or highlight it, so you just so you know where your codes are. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so for the first setup we're gonna do is the direct code entry. All right, so basically you find your TV's brand in the code list, and we're gonna go ahead and enter the code. In my case, I have a Toshiba, so I'm gonna enter the 5-digit code. It's gonna be 11524. That's 11524. So we have different categories on the remote control. We have the stream button, we have the TV button, we have the power button, we have the satellite button, and we have the DVD Blu-ray player button. So what the procedure is, basically, because we have a TV, we're gonna hold down the TV button, and at the same time, simultaneously, we're gonna enter the code, the 11524. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold down the TV button, and I'm gonna go ahead and enter 11524. Now the power button is going to illuminate, and I'm going to go ahead and release. So now I'm going to point the remote control at my TV, and I'm going to hit the power button. So point at my TV, hit the power button, and it turned it off. And that is essentially how you do that. Now, if the power button blinks 4 times and it just turns off, that means you did something wrong. Just go back and try to redo it. You may have the wrong code, or you just did something, you didn't press something firmly. Now, also, if you have like a TV VCR combination, you may need to put 2 codes in, 1 code for each device. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the manual setup. All right, so the next method is called the manual code search. So if you forget your codes, or if you can't locate your code sheet, then you're going to use this method here. And it's fairly easy. So basically, guys, all you do is you're going to hold the TV button down, and the power button is going to come on, but at this time you're going to hold while you're holding the TV button down, you're going to hold the power button down simultaneously, and the power button is going to shut. It's going to turn off, but then you'll see it come back on, and when it comes back on, then you'll go ahead and release. So we'll go ahead and do that here real fast. So we'll go ahead and hold the TV button down, because this is the device that we want to program. If it's any other device, you hold that button down. So we'll go ahead and hold the TV button down, and it's illuminating. Then we're going to hold the power button down. It turned off, and then it's going to come back on. All right, it's back on. Then we'll release both buttons. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to point the remote control at the TV, and I'm going to hit the power button, and I'm going to wait a few seconds, and I'm going to hit it again. So I'm going to hit the power button, wait a few seconds to see if it turns off, then turn off. I'm going to hit the power button again, wait a few seconds to see if it turned off. It hasn't turned off yet. I'm going to hit the power button again, wait a few seconds. Hit the power button again, wait a few seconds, hit the power button again, wait a few seconds, hit the power button again, wait a few seconds, and I'm going to hit the power button again, and it turned off. So now that it turned off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the stop button. Once I hit that stop button, then the power button turns off, and I have it programmed. So I hit the power button, it'll turn the TV back on. There we have it. So that is how you do a manual code search, and yes, it may take some time, but that's basically how you do the manual code. Now, if you program the remote control and certain functionalities are not working, like the home button or sometimes the volume button, make sure you guys, if you're doing a code entry, make sure you just to use a different code. The different code may have better functionality. All right, guys, so let's go to the second remote. All right, guys, so next up is the GE remote control. So let's go ahead and get started off. Make sure your TV is on. So we want to do the first method. It's going to be the direct code entry. So this is actually pretty easy. So what we're doing is we're just going to go ahead and hit the setup button. We're going to hit and hold this down, and then we're going to hit the device that we want to program. We have a TV, we have the cable, we have DVD, or we have auxiliary. That's going to be your surround sound system. So let's go ahead and try it right now. Now the code that I'm going to be using, I have a Toshiba, it's going to be 1311. So go ahead and grab your code list, circle the code so you're not scanning for it. You can circle it or highlight the code, and let's get started. So we'll go ahead and hold down setup until the red light stays on. So the red light is on. Then we're going to hit TV because that's what we're trying to program. The red light will blink. Now we're going to enter the code. I'm going to enter 13, 11, 3. Now the power light turned off, and I'm going to point this remote control at my TV, and I'm going to hit the power button and see if it turns off. And there we have it. It turned off. So that's the first method for the GE remote control. Very, very easy. Now let's go ahead and go into the second method, and that's going to be the auto code scan or auto code search. Let me show you guys how to do that. All right, guys, so the next method, and this is a little bit more complex, a little bit more advanced. This is called a auto code search. So let me show you how to get it done. So we're gonna do the same process. We're gonna hold down the setup button, and then we're gonna hit the TV button. But this time we're gonna press the power button, and when we press the power button, it's gonna send 10 codes to my Toshiba TV. And if your TV turns off, then what I'll do is I'll manually turn it back on, and then I'll go ahead and hit the volume button to find which of those 10 codes that I sent to the TV worked. So let's go ahead and get that done real fast. All right, I'll walk through the process a little bit slow. All right, so we're gonna press and hold down setup until the red light comes on. Red light's on. We're gonna press the device that we want. I want a TV here. Now I'm gonna press the power button at my TV one time, and it's going to go through each code. It's going to blink each time, and it went through the codes. Now my TV did turn off. It turned off. It was on, it turned off. So it's one of those 10 codes that it sent to the TV. And I think the blinking light stopped about 4 or 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my TV back on manually. All right, so my TV is back on. All right, and I'm gonna hit the volume button until I find the code that turns it off again out of those 10 codes. So I'm going to hit the volume button. 1. I'll wait 2 or 3 seconds. Hit it again. I'll wait 2 or 3 seconds. Hit it again. I'll wait 2 or 3 seconds. Hit it again. Wait 2 or 3 seconds. Hit it again, and it turned it off. So now it's off. So now to store it, what I'll do is I'll hit the TV button again. So I go ahead and hit the TV button, and now it's stored. And that is how you do an auto code search. So let me go ahead and hit the power button, turn TV back on. And there we have it. So it's pretty simple. You know, if you need to come back to the video, just come back as often as you can. But that's how you perform an auto code search. All right, so let's go to the next remote control. All right, guys, so this is going to be the last remote control that we program here. This is the Phillips Universal Remote. Now, this particular remote control is going to be the same as the GE remote control, same procedures, same code list. So it's a pretty easy process. Now, the first step you guys want to do, make sure that your TV's on. And make sure that you circle or highlight your TV's brand name in the code list. Let me show you guys how to do this here. So the first method is going to be the direct code entry. In my case here, I have a Toshiba TV and my code is going to be 1311. So let me show you guys how to do it. Basically, it's pretty easy, same as GE. We're going to hold down the setup button until the power button illuminates. Then we're going to press the device button. What we're using here is a TV. If you're using a cable box or something else, you'll press these buttons here. But we'll go ahead and press this button one time. The power button is going to blink, and then we'll go ahead and put our code in, and then we'll point. After we put our code in, the power button will turn off, and then we'll point our remote control at the TV, and it should turn off. Now, if it doesn't turn off, just go to the next code. Let's go ahead and try it. Hold down the setup button. Power light came on, it's solid. Then we're going to press the TV button one time. Power light blinked. Now we're going to go ahead and put the code in. My code is 1311 1311. Power light went off. Now we're going to point the remote control at the TV and hit the power button. All right, TV turned off. I'm going to hit the power button again. TV turned back on. So that is essentially how you do it. Very easy. Now the next method is a little bit more advanced. We're going to use the next method in case you forget your code or lost your code list. So let's go into that. All right, guys. So the second method is going to be called the auto code search. So again, we'll use this method if you lost your code or you lost the code list. So it's a little bit more complex, but it's very doable. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to get it done. So basically what you're doing is you're going to hold the setup button. The same process is the same thing as the GE remote or universal remote control. You hold down the setup button, the power light will illuminate. You go in and click the button. That's your device. In this case, we're using the TV. And then instead of putting the code in, you're going to hit the power button. You're going to point your remote control at the TV and hit the power button. It's going to automatically send 10 codes to your TV. And when your TV turns off, you will manually turn it back on, and then we'll shift through those codes and see which one of those 10 codes worked. So let me walk you through it. So what we're going to do is go ahead and hold down setup. All right, so the power button illuminated. So I'm going to go and hit the TV button here one time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to point my remote control at the TV and I'm going to hit the power button. It's going to send 10 codes. It's going to blink until it turns off. All right, it sent to 10 codes. It didn't turn off. I'm going to hit it again to do the other set of 10 codes. And it's blinking here. It's blinking on each code. It didn't turn off, so I'm going to hit it again to do the next set of 10 codes. It's blinking where each code is putting in. And it turned off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to manually turn it back on. Okay, so I manually turned it back on, and I'm going to go through, because out of those 10 codes that I just, the remote sent to the TV, one of those are it. So I'm going to go and hit the volume button up. I'm going to wait a few seconds. Then I'm going to hit it up again. I'm going to wait a few seconds, see if it turns it off. If it doesn't, I'm going to hit up again, because we're going through those 10 codes. One of those codes worked out of that 10 section. Wait a couple of seconds. I'm going to hit up again. Wait a couple of seconds. I'm going to hit up again. Wait a couple of seconds. See if it turns off. Nope. I'm going to hit up again. Wait a couple of seconds. See if it turned off. No. I'm going to hit up again. Wait a couple of seconds. Up again. Wait a couple of seconds. Hit up again. Wait a couple seconds, hit up again, and it was the last one. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, that particular code, whatever that code is, turn the TV off. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that. I'm gonna hit the TV button again, and now everything illuminated, and now it's set. So when I hit the power button, it should turn the TV back on. And just like that, the TV is back on. So if you don't have the codes, this is not the recommended way to do it, but if you don't have the codes, you can do it this way as well. So there you have it. All right, guys, that's it. That is essentially how you program your remote controls. All right, so these are the three most common remote controls out there right now: the RCA, the GE, and the Phillips. So I'll put these three remote controls in the description below. And what I'll also do, I'll go ahead and put the most common TVs, the TV's code list, like if you have a Sony or a Samsung, I'll put the most common codes in the description as well. So this will help you guys out. So that you don't have to do the second method. But if you want to do the second method, if your code is not in that list below, it's there for you. I mean, this video is going to be here a very long time, so just go back and redo it. It's fairly easy. Just do it over again until you get it. Guys, if you have any questions, just leave your questions below, and I'll try to get to them in a timely fashion. All right. So, guys, please hit this like button if I helped you out today. And can you please subscribe to my channels? Guys, you have a great day. Stay blessed. Catch you in the next one.